Stasis actually received some pretty nice buffs at the beginning of season 19, and I want to show you off a hunter build in this video that is actually really fun. This build is going to allow you to spam infinite dust field grenades alongside being very tanky, and it's very good for in-game content as you can pretty much deal with every single champion on your own. You're also going to be able to control the battlefield exactly how you want it and let enemies barely ever do damage to you. Alright, so jump right into it. Our exotic choice is going to be Renewal Grass. So this has the exotic perk Depths of Dust Field. Your dust field grenades have a much larger effect radius, and allies inside the dust field take reduced damage, and targets inside the area deal reduced damage. So the first part of the perk is pretty self-explanatory. You throw a dust field grenade, it is going to have a larger area of effect, which is very nice for crowd control. On top of that, if you're standing inside the dust field grenade yourself, you will take reduced damage, and if enemies are also in that dust field grenade, they will also do reduced damage. So it's a very good setup for survivability. If you're ever in a pinch situation, you can throw this on the ground and you're going to take reduced damage, and everything inside of it's going to do reduced damage on top of it slowing enemies and letting them freeze. With season 19, slow stacks are faster now, so your slow is essentially going to be even more effective than what it once was. Now, to play into our dust field grenade, let's take a look at our aspects. We're going to be running Grim Harvest. This is going to let you spawn stasis shards whenever you defeat slowed or frozen targets. The main thing is this is going to give you 3 fragments, and it will actually play into one of our fragments when we get into them. Then we're also going to be running Touch of Winter. So this basically improves all your stasis grades, but specifically we're worried about dust field, which is going to increase the slow field size, and it's going to create a small stasis crystal on impact. This is going to be a very important aspect to take. It does actually stack with Renewal Grasp. It will even make that stasis crystal that spawns a big stasis crystal instead of a small one. So you basically just get this huge dome of slow AoE that is also very good for survivability, and you also have a nice little crystal as a bonus. Now, where our fragments come in, we're going to be running Whisper of Fissures, so basically all our stasis frozen targets or crystals would have a bigger AoE. This just helps out with the at clear build. If you've frozen a lot of targets, you can just kill one thing and pretty much everything just shatters and explodes. It's very nice. I also like to run Whisper of Durance, so my slow for my abilities will last longer, and this also has the effect that your dust field will last a little bit longer too. So essentially your grenade is just going to be a lot more effective. Then Whisper of Change, so when I'm near a frozen target or a stasis crystal, I take reduced damage. Since you're going to be freezing targets in that dust field 24/7 anyway, you're going to get that reduced damage, and if you remember, you will spawn that stasis crystal in the dust field, which will also give you reduced damage since you're beside a stasis crystal. Pair that with the exotic trait of Renewal Grasp, you're literally going to be almost unkillable if you are running something like 100 resilience. Now, I also like to run Whisper of Torment, so whenever I take damage, I'm going to gain grenade energy. Since this build's all about tanking a lot of damage, this is going to give you a bunch of grenade energy back. And then finally, I like to run Whisper of Rom, so whenever I pick up stasis shards that I make, it will actually grant me an overshield, which again also helps out with survivability of the build, because just think of a scenario: you throw a Renewal Grasp down, you're getting all that damage reduction and survivability from the exotic itself, you're getting the damage reduction from Whisper of Chains, you're making shards because you're defeating slowed and frozen targets, and then on top of that, those shards are giving you an overshield. So you have so much survivability focused based around this, and when you haven't even gotten to the aspect of just being able to throw infinite dust fields 24/7. And I would highly recommend a stat distribution of 100 resilience and 100 discipline. 100 resilience is obviously going to pair with everything I've already went over, and 100 discipline will let you spam your grenades even more. It does say it's a 24-second cooldown, but Bungie has nerfed Renewal Grasp, where if you have them equipped with a dust field grenade, they will have a much longer cooldown. But you don't really even have to worry about that because we're still going to be getting these infinitely. And before I get into weapons, I actually want to go over mods and talk about the play style of this build, because that is what is going to be very important and what's allowing you to spam a lot of grenades. I personally am taking Quick Charge right here because we're going to be playing into Charger Light, so you become Charger Light when you rapidly defeat targets with fusion rifles or shotguns. I do also have a Arc mod slotted in just to get that second benefit, so I greatly increase the ready speed of my fusion rifle since I'm going to be running Deliverance. Now, if you don't want to run a fusion rifle or you don't want to run Deliverance, you can also take things like Salvage or Salvo. That would be very good because Salvage or Salvo can come with Demolitionist. And if you want to pop on the mod Blast Radius, you become Charge Light when you rapidly defeat combatants with grenade launchers. Any of these Charger Light mods that are like special weapon based pretty much always give you Charge Light on 2 kills of your special weapon, so that could be very good. So even if you want to run something like a Trace Rifle to become a Charger Light, that could also be good. It just depends on how you like to do it, but I would definitely recommend a special weapon, one of these Charger Light mods, and for that gun to have Demolitionist on it. So for me personally, like I said, I'm going to be running Quick Charge, so when I get those fusion kills, I become Charger Light. So all it takes is 2 fusion kills to actually become Charger Light. And Deliverance is really good because it does have Chill Clip on it, because it plays into the slow aspect, which also helps plays into your aspects and fragments, obviously. But again, like I said, anything will work. Even a Riptide could be good if you do have demo on it. Now, the reason we want to get Charger Light is because on the rest of our armor pieces, we're actually going to be taking a firepower mod. So this says, while Charger Light, you regain a portion of your grenade energy when you use your grenade, consuming 1 stack of Charger Light. So essentially, when you throw your grenade, if you have 4 of these equipped on every single one of your other armor pieces, you're essentially getting around 50 to 60% of your grenade energy back when you throw your grenade. What's really cool, if you use a special weapon with demo, you're actually going to get around 20% of your grenade energy back once you actually kill enemies with the gun. So that means around 2 kills is actually going to fully restore your grenade. And if you remember, 2 kills with a special weapon with one of their respective Charger Light mods will also make you become Charger Light. So the loop of this build is to literally just get 2 kills, throw a grenade, get 2 kills, get your grenade back, throw a grenade, get 2 kills, become Charger Light, throw a grenade, and it is just constant uptime on your grenades 24/7. You can literally have infinite grenades with this setup, and it's honestly kind of crazy. But that is the loop of the build. I do want to mention some of the other weapons really quick. Obviously, take whatever power weapon you want to take that is, you know, the current meta. I like Taipan a lot. And then I'm honestly running a Devil's Ruin because this has intrinsic Unstoppable. Unstoppable is kind of end the season with hand cannon and a grenade launcher, so this could just for sure unstop a champion. But if you want to run something else, literally anything could be fine. I honestly might stray away from running double special because you want to get as much fused rifle ammo as humanly possible. And if you have 2 specials, it's obviously going to distribute that into both your special weapons, and you won't get as much ammo because you want to try to have 100% uptime on your special weapon so you can keep that 100% uptime on your grenade. And the way we're going to do that is with some of our mods. I am going to be running Special Finisher because this means when you finish an enemy, you're actually going to generate some special ammo and it requires 1/3 of your super. The good thing is that the Revenant super is honestly not that good, and pretty much using it is, you know, a little bit of extra damage, you know, but you don't even need it for that or even add clear. So you can actually opt in to just not use your super and really focus on generating a bunch of special ammo with your super energy so you can keep constant uptime up on your special weapon. This is also going to help out with the fact that I'm going to be running a harmonic siphon, so whenever I rapidly defeat enemies with a weapon that matches my subclass type, I would generate an orb of power. So now I get Charger Light when I rapidly kill enemies with Deliverance. On top of that, I'm making an orb of power, which will help out with survivability of the build as well because I'm running recuperation. So it's going to let me replenish health each time I pick up an orb of power. So this is going to be very strong because you're never going to have your super. This means you can always pick up these orbs, which means you will always get health back, alongside the crystals also giving you overshields and all the damage reduction revolved around everything. I would also highly recommend running a ammo finder for whatever special weapon you're taking. Obviously, I'm running a fusion rifle because I'm running Deliverance, and also a special weapon scavenger to your respective special weapon. And then the final thing to note is about champions. Right now in the game, there is a mod called Lord Kelvin's Basilisk, so Void and Stasis grenades can actually disrupt overload champions. You can slot this on your class item. Unfortunately, mine is still currently bugged. I cannot put it on here, but I will for sure be slotting that in. So now my dust fields can actually stun overload champions. And also a cool little fact, overload actually reduces the damage of enemies as well. So if you throw a renewal grass dust field on an enemy, not only is the overload going to be reducing their damage, but also the exotic trait will also be reducing their damage. And then for Unstoppable, obviously I've already went over Devil's Ruin. And then finally, the cool thing about Stasis is that it somewhat has intrinsic anti-barrier. Obviously it's not going to break a shield, but what's really cool is if you have a gun with like Choke Clip, or your dust sword grenade can also do it. If you throw it on, you know, an enemy, you're going to be able to freeze them over and over again before they can even get that shield or reset their timer. And if you're constantly just freezing them 24/7 with this entire setup, you essentially have anti-barrier on your entire subclass, which is very, very strong as well. So you have the ability to deal with all 3 champions while also being very, very tanky. But that is pretty much going to do it for the build. Let me know what you all think about it in the comments below. I will have a dim link to this build in the description if you all would like to try it out. I'm not exactly sure if this is going to be the go-to meta for hunters, but it is definitely a very fun setup, and I wanted to get it out for you all because it is very, very good for teams play. You know, if you're in a boss scenario, just throw this on the ground. Everybody's taking reduced damage, which is going to be nice. Or even if you want to just throw it on a boss to add some extra shadow damage, the boss is doing reduced damage to you. There's so many different ways you could set this up, and I think it is very, very fun to try out. But anyway, if you all enjoyed and learned anything new, consider subscribing, dropping a like, and turn notifications on. Also, if you'd like to join my Discord or follow me on any of my socials, all of that will be linked in the description as well. But just know watching this video is way more than enough, and that every single bit of support from you all is truly appreciated. Thank you all so much for watching this one, and have a great day. Peace.